All right, September 17th from Justin to Cully. We just, so what time is it? 12:30? So that's a good, what? An
good
hour plus
almost
with
hour,
Stevie Van Sant, or almost an hour? I don't know. So we were waiting around for him. We set it up. I don't know if you heard. I wasn't nervous about the technological aspect. I just wanted to make sure that Kirk could see Stevie during the interview, and that's what I was nervous about. So it wasn't like the sound or the podcast or anything like that. I don't know. I feel like it's weird that, I don't know. If you just did it, you might as well do it on the phone. If we're going to do video, he should see him, don't you think?
I guess so.
Yeah.
No, I think the interview went great.
Yeah.
I don't think there was anything any of us could have done to make it quote unquote better.
No, and he looked like they could have talked for another hour. It felt like so they did about an hour, like I was saying. So it's good to if you've been listening for the past, I don't know, it's been a month since that saga began. It's good to get that one done, completed, no problems. Actually, I haven't listened to we listened to it live, but I haven't listened to the file yet.
Yep.
So, all right, let's not get too caught. All right, yeah, hold on. All right, never mind. It's either way, but the interview went well. So you guys will be hearing that real soon. Book comes out September 28th. You know what we'll do? We'll have Harrison toss it on the Minifan HQ too, so people can pre-order it. And we'll tease that out there in the coming days here. So, all right, for today's show, we kind of let off with the Chris and Dave tension, right? Which I actually think now after just kind of listening to Chris, it's more Chris than it is Dave. I don't know if you, no.
The show better if Mike's on it or Chris is on it.
I don't really think of it that way, but I guess I would. No, hold on.
Just say Mike.
No, I'm just thinking about it. It's your show one, so I try to take my brain away from that.
Why? You're a human being who listens to the show.
Yeah, but my comfort level, I like Mike more.
Okay, well,
but,
that's fine.
Yeah, but it's not like I don't view it as like, oh, fuck, now I don't want Chris in on Fridays. I don't view it like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
But why? But you just.
So the popularity thing, I'm just going to take out I had a weird take on the friend thing that I just kind of tossed out there, but I don't place value on popularity. I was just like, in my brain, I would never randomly reach out to someone from high school like that for some reason. I thought maybe there's.
I don't randomly reach out to anyone.
I get it, whatever. That's how you can take it. I don't know. I think it's the sheep mentality of a Kirk Minahan listener, to be honest with you, is they take Kirk's opinion and they kind of run with it. If anybody knows me, I have no problems with Chris being on the show.
Yep.
I guess I probably should have been quicker of saying, yes, I do like Mike on the show because I think Mike's been around longer. He's consistent. Yep. They know each other. Either way, I don't think that's a shot at anybody. I don't think that's a shot at Chris, but I like Chris on the show. So it's not, if there's a situation where you want to have multiple guests on a specific day or whatever, like we do now, Chris is definitely in the mix there. Like, I don't have any problem there with Chris. There's nothing. Everything I've ever done is more, maybe there's sarcastic shots or things like that. But I like the guy. I think he's a great guy. He's a nice guy. My take was literally, when it comes to next week, I feel like Mike has earned that ability to say, all right, if I'm not going to be on Monday's show and I normally do 2 shows, I feel like he's earned the ability to just as a manager, just say, hey, do you want to do Friday? That's not a shot at anybody. Everybody can have their own opinion on how they look at the execution of the schedule of the day. Obviously, Kirk calls the shots there. I'm just saying that would be mine if I called the shot. I would give Mike that option. That's all. And I don't judge anybody for not doing it. That was just my opinion that day.
I think your biggest mistake was when you said that you would have done the exact same thing for Jared Carrabis, because I don't think you would have.
If Jared Carrabis was
scheduled
Mike Geary,
was scheduled for Friday.
Oh, I get it. Right. If Jared,
and you would have said, "Ooh, do we want Mike in on Wednesday, Friday?"
Why do you think that's inaccurate? Why do you?
Because I think you're looking at it through the lens of what do the people want.
No, I am not. See, that's where I believe that you hear Kirk and you form your opinion based on what Kirk says. It is not. It is purely over the fact that Mike started with this show basically on day one, right?
Yep.
I don't think he was in on the first couple weeks.
He's a day one guy.
He's a day one guy. He was a employee of the show. Then he went on a leave and now he came back and he does 2 days a week. I view him as an employee. So the only way that would happen is where the Jared situation, no, I can't even compare it. I can't even compare it. Mike would always, in my brain, he should get an offer for that Friday if I'm making the call. But like I said, if I'm not, anybody can view the scheduling and the dynamics of the show the way they want to. And Kirk views it a different way, which is totally fine. That's all. I would definitely do that if it were Jared. 100%. You can believe it.
If it was Whitney?
If it was Whitney, I would definitely do it. It has nothing to do with how, if it was fucking Tom Cruise, I would say the same thing.
Tom Cruise would suck.
Well, Tom Cruise is also, Cocktail's a great movie. So I probably not Tom Cruise, but you know what I'm saying. Mike, to me, is an employee, and I would present that as an option to him if he doesn't get kind of like his normal, I know it's not normal schedule, but like the routine of 2 shows a week, let's call it. Is that fair? Like, that's my honest opinion. If you don't believe me, that's fine.
No,
that's
it's
my
not that I
honest.
don't believe you. I just wish you would come out and say that you like Mike better on the show than Chris.
No, well, so that's where I probably should be quicker. I do. Like, that's where I don't want to be a dick.
Yes,
but
like,
I also don't think that's a dick thing to say.
Yes, I
just
agree.
think-
Like, I'll be
yeah.
honest. Like, it's a different show when Mike is on. It's more of a comedy. Like, Mike's a comedy guy. You know, he's more of like the zippy one-liners.
But that doesn't make it. That doesn't say that we
that
don't
doesn't
like
take away from Chris. I mean,
Yeah.
Chris is more of like, you know, the Tarantino stuff, the movie stuff, the music back knowledge, the SNL from the 70s or whatever. It's just it's a different show. But
Yes.
like people, it's okay to have a preference. And like I see someone like you or me who likes comedy, would definitely have a.
But I
preference
also don't.
for
I also,
Mike.
I also think that preference like isn't really. It's not the most fair thing in the world because Quantum Week Chris has been doing it for what is that? That's like his 5th rep on the show.
Yeah.
Mike's been there since day one, building camaraderie with
Yep.
Kirk
No, I
and
agree.
all that.
I
stuff. So
agree.
it's not really that fair of an argument. I honestly think like if you said. To your point, like we're bringing up new names. Like if RA was in this, like I would still say Mike. So I don't know. I don't. Like I said, I think there's a lot of just kind of made up. But I also think like I don't think Chris likes me, that's different. That's where I say it's different. I think it's reversed. I don't think Chris likes me on the show, which is fine. That's fine too.
I think. No, I think
It's way more aggressive from his end.
I think Chris like a month ago said it really well. Is that you get the fans, you don't necessarily get the show, and I think you're getting the show more now. But like today, when it comes down to what we're talking about, when like the Rhea stuff.
Yes.
I think that comes back as like that's just going to come with time. When you're like, I don't think this would happen. Well, it did happen.
Yeah, I'm just. I am actually amazed. No, so that's fine. So that was Fran and Rhea on Chicks in the Office, and that. So we talked about. I just randomly made the comment that they sold out 2 shows in Boston. He talks about how they brought up Black Lives Matter. I guess I probably shouldn't have called it out like that anyway, because every show I felt like talked about Black Lives Matter. That was when everyone was changing their Instagram profile to a black square or whatever. So yeah.
Yep.
And they were telling, because, you know, and I still think they're still super focused on Black Lives Matter, right? They do a lot of
I think
that.
it's a big part of their show. It's a big part of his tour.
Yeah, I would imagine, right?
Wait. Fran and Rhea talk about black.
Dave, you didn't listen to the show last summer, okay? You just don't know what you're talking
There's
about.
no way they talk about Black Lives Matter on Chicks in the Office.
Okay. Again, I mean, this is like, do you want me to go over our show's history? You need that?
You're saying they still do. Like now that it's kind of on the back burner, they still talk about Black Lives Matter.
Yeah, Dave.
Dave, I was using a device called sarcasm.
Oh, okay. So that's probably just a dumb call out by me. But I also don't think like today they're not talking about it. That was my point. It's like that was like a special like one-off thing that we can call him an asshole and make a show about it or whatever. But like that's not a continual political theme. Like I feel like Ellie Schnitt tried to make it like a political theme, like for the rest of the, you know what I mean? Like you're bringing on Gina and whoever else. You're riding that wave for a little bit of time.
I've never listened to an episode of Ellie's show.
I got the vibe that's where she was going. But either way,
Chicks in the Office,
you're right about that, like the history of the show, for sure. You're right about that. So either way, it doesn't matter anyway. I mean, you can have your opinion on the show and the people a part of it anyway. So I'm not even mad if he doesn't like me. I'm just saying I think it's more aggressive from his angle than it is from mine. I don't really feel like I've shown that side. I just don't. So I don't know. Is that fine?
I don't know. I think it's all that. The whole thing is just funny that you don't like him.
I do like him. What do you think? It's the dumbest.
I just think it's funny that you just won't come out and say it. Just be
That's
like,
so
"Fuck
dumb. I don't know why. Like I would love to know if it's not just
Chris and Matt Corona are both drowning. Who are you saving?
Chris.
Okay.
Yeah, but I also like legit feel
But you
I've
kind
had
of
enough.
hope
Yeah,
they both drown.
No, I hope they both survive.
Oh, okay.
If Chris was not, if Matt was just drowning and he's the only one there, I would try to help Matt in that situation. Well, I just feel like at this point, I know Chris a little bit more just based off of him coming in every Friday for the last month and a half or whatever.
Yeah,
So,
I think the big news of today's show is that we are not getting 3 shows next week.
yes, we are getting 4
getting
shows.
4
next week.
shows.
Which did he really explain that? Like why we're getting 4 shows? Did he do like? I feel like he.
If I got from listening is that since Carabas is coming in, he didn't want to kick out either
Chris.
Mike, or Chris.
Yep.
So he's like, hey, and plus like the show that's happening on Sunday, it's going to be like a show, but it's not going to be in studio or anything like that.
Correct.
So I think he looks at it as, I think he likes coming into the studio Tuesday, Wednesday.
Yep.
So that's what I got from it, from just how he's been talking this week. But no, that's exciting.
Which, by the way, I think that's a great move. Like Chris has fun in here. He has a good time. He's good on the show. Like we should, because Jared is so with baseball season, it's like unreliable that
Yep.
yeah, you're gonna say yes because he was there consistently in the past and stuff. But you also to your point right there, like you want Chris to be able to have that. I don't know. You just don't want to bail on him. That's basically it too. And we all like doing the show. So what's and people hopefully like listening to the show. So what's wrong with 4 a week? It's just like not a big deal. You might as well do it.
Yeah, but I think also like I think Kirk made it clear that it's one time 4 a week. I don't think it's going to be like a 4 a week going
No,
forward.
but he did. Were you here? Didn't he say like, will there be a day where he go back to 5 days a week? And
then
he
I
did
think
say,
he said absolutely not.
no. Was it, you think he was full-fledged just kidding on that? I can't remember in the moment now. I can't remember.
I'd be very surprised
Yeah.
if the show ever goes back to 5 days a week.
Just
I
in the
would be
moment, I
very
figured
surprised.
that did come up a little bit. So, all right, let's get that. We've kind of gone off the rails, even though that was part of the topics there. Other things that came up the show overnight, we saw a tweet from I forget who did it, what parody account did it, but it was I think it was like an Evan
Oh, it was
Drellick one.
Evan Drellick.
Evan
It was like
Drellick
Newens
account.
Evan or something.
Yeah, so they tweeted out a picture of the Kirk Minahan show on Odyssey. So I remember in the past that the Kirk Minahan show was on radio.com. I asked you about that. I think the guys tried to get it removed. You brought that up on the show
I
a little
believe
bit.
so. I'm not 100% sure, but I believe Steve tried to get it taken down. He
Yep.
was getting like thrown around to a bunch of different names and stuff. But it sounds like you know the person who's kind of like in charge of all this.
Well, I mean, it's like a big wig, I guess. So you can
Yep.
take your shot. I'll leave her a message for sure on the drive home. Just leave her a message and just say, hey, I want to be off there. Probably the thing what we described in the show is they just go and pick up every RSS feed. So however that happens, I don't remember if you guys got it taken down in the past or not.
I don't think the show did.
But the different situation is the company has changed or rebranded since then. So the Odyssey move might have then like reignited the thing where they went and picked up all the RSS feeds they didn't have potentially or something like that. So maybe it happened. I can't remember. I have not seen I texted Kirk about it this morning when he showed me the screenshot. I haven't seen anybody tweet about Odyssey. I haven't seen a screenshot. It's never come up on a Google search result of the Kirk Minahan show.
Yeah.
So it's literally like the first I've seen of it.
It's I was going through it today, kind of just trying to like find it. Their website is still completely fucked. Like you can't search for podcasts. You have to like Google search the Kirk Minahan show and Odyssey to see if it come. It's just terrible. It's terribly
It's just
run.
a terribly run, terrible company. Speaking of that, Kirk broke a little news. Steve Peralt, who we had the audio of him leaving Section 10, he's going to Odyssey apparently. So that was like that's an easy guess, but I guess he must know that officially. But it's he has a relationship with the company. I saw that job listing that we mentioned on the show about looking for a Red Sox host and co-host and all those things for a podcast. So Steve Peralt done with Section 10.
Yeah, good riddance. I have no use for him. When I went to a Section 10 event in Fenway a couple months ago.
Big timed?
No, not at all. He was actually like the opposite. He was talking about how like he gets the show and like he likes how like he can play along with Kirk. And I was like, I don't really think you understand that like Kirk legitimately does not like you. And he's like, nah. I mean, he had a couple in him, so it was kind of just coming out.
Yep.
But no, I mean, I have no use for Steve.
Yeah. All right, other things. We did talk about that Rolling Stones top 500 songs, which everybody kind of agreed where it was just kind of it's just one of those trolling type of lists, that you get. Like, what was the one, Missy Elliott, that we keep going back to was number 8?
Yeah.
Get Your Freak On, right? Was that the one?
Which is like, I wouldn't, wild. I mean, my top 100 songs includes like the Safety Dance by Men Without Hats.
I got like Nicki Minaj, Starships on mine.
Exactly. Yeah, so I mean,
you can be mad about it. Yeah, exactly. So, all right. So coming up this weekend, we do have the Colleen Ritzer 5K. So I'd like to remind you guys, we are doing the live broadcast after, but if you are on our team, Justin and I will both be there. It's before 7:30, but 7:30 is when we're telling people we can give away their packets. Oh, do we forget to give it to Chris?
Whatever.
Of course we did.
We'll give it to him on Sunday.
People can pick up their packets right in front of the Senior Center in Andover. Right around 7:30, we'll be there. We'll have a tent. We'll have a table set up where Jerry and Kirk will do their recording after the 5K. So appreciate everybody supporting that cause. You can still support them, whether you're running or not. You can still support them. So check out Google Step Up for Colleen on Google, and you'll find all the links to help out if you're inclined to do so. Tickets for Sacco 4 still on sale. Go to Minifan HQ to get the link to that. That's coming along. That's coming together. We got some videos to produce, Justin, so we got to get on that next week. Besides that, I'm trying to think. Did we miss anything?
Yeah, the last thing I want to say is about the Tarantino stuff, the Tarantino game, Chris.
Oh, right, yeah.
I just have a little bit of Tarantino trivia.
Oh, boy.
That I should have brought up. Tarantino almost wrote and directed a movie for which popular sci-fi franchise?
I guess, are we going to say Star Trek?
It is Star Trek.
Wow, look at that. Well,
Yes.
if I got that, well, you probably just gave too easy of a clue.
Yeah, I said, sci-fi. It's not Star Wars.
Yeah,
So.
you say that on the show. That's an easy little one. Yeah, so that's a nice little trivia question.
Yeah,
but
no, I forgot to bring it up.
We did make sure we pointed out he didn't bring a game this week. He brought an activity. That's fair, right? That's the way to describe it. Yeah.
I mean, there was no winner or loser. It
Yeah,
was
and because of that activity, we found out he used to be the mascot Monkey Boy. He was the backup to Monkey Boy, right?
That's
kinda
it
how he
sounds
described
like he
it.
was the backup to Monkey Boy, and then
Became
for
Monkey
a year
Boy.
he became Monkey Boy, but
Yeah.
it really didn't pan out.
Yeah, I'll say this: those costumes fucking suck. So, and he has to in that element, he really has to interact with people, kind of go nuts, run around, all that shit. That sucks. I've been every character in the book. We did this reading series. When I worked for Oldies 103.3, I was fucking Elmo. I was Dora the Explorer. I was fucking Big Bird. I everything in the fucking book in those costumes suck. They just suck. And I don't know why I assume that Kirk has one time worn a costume that.
If you could get Kirk in one of those costumes,
Yeah.
You deserve $10 million.
Yeah,
because I think he would legitimately off himself before he would ever put himself in one of those costumes.
I agree. Maybe a situation for a kid's birthday or something
know
like that.
No,
I
don't.
Never
I don't
happened?
see it. I
Can't convince him?
I could see Harry coming to him and saying, "Dad, please, I need you to dress up as you know, I don't know,
Yeah, Big Bird.
Big
Whatever.
Bird or something,"
Yeah, yeah.
and Kirk would just be like, no.
Just won't happen.
Like, no, I don't see that happening.
Just won't happen. All right. We are out of here. We will be back in this studio doing this show on Tuesday. New KMS on Tuesday morning. The Jerry Callahan show that's being pre-recorded on Sunday. That'll be our Monday show. So look for that somewhere around. Well, actually, we didn't talk about it with Kirk, but I have a feeling that'll be available earlier rather than later. That's just my gut feeling. But
Probably.
But we will be back. We'll talk to you guys on Tuesday. And if you're going to the Colin Ritzer 5K, we look forward to seeing you there. All right. Thanks, Justin.
Bye.